You're just gonna chill right there? Alright, then I guess I can shoot you just fine. What's up, Agents? Zer here, welcome back to another episode of the Zervival series. This is episode 3. If you remember, last time we went in a little bit of a caving adventure, got ourselves a whole ton of iron. And in this episode, well, I want to go ahead and make a proper house. Now, I'm not saying that where I'm living isn't bad, because it's great for when I just started off the world and I have a place to stay straight off the bat. But it's not exactly great for long-term living in. Hopefully in this episode, we're going to end up fixing that problem. And I actually found some place that I want to go ahead and start designing where I'm going to live. And the reason why I'm saying where I want to live and not directly saying my house is because this is something I was debating in between episodes. Because previous seasons of other series that I've done on my channel, I've always built a house. But what I've wanted to do, that I came up with, is actually live in a little cove right there off inside the ravine. So I'm taking a little bit of a page from Jack Frost's Miner series, although not to the full extent that he's doing, because in his series, he's living directly down in the bottom of the ravine. That's not what I want to do. I want to live in this little cave right in here, and I think I've got the materials that I'm going to end up needing in order to do that, but I need to actually double check. The first thing that I should probably do is make myself a few tools, and I actually should probably go ahead. Actually, where is my iron? It's not in that chest. I just checked. Is my iron? Yeah, my iron is all in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get out some iron, and I should have plenty of wood inside of this. Yeah, I have plenty of wood inside of this chest, so I can go ahead. Do I have any sticks left over to use all of them? No, I have 10 right here. Okay, good. So let me go and grab these sticks, and let's go ahead and turn this into that. Let's go ahead and make ourselves an iron pickaxe and an iron shovel. There we go. And you know what, while I'm at it, that's the chest, not the crafting table. While I'm at it, let's make another of each, just in case. Ordinarily, I would technically use cobblestone in order to do all this stuff, because, well, it's a lot easier to get cobblestone than it is to get iron, admittedly. And it's not like I have a whole heck of a lot of iron, admittedly, at the same time. But if I have these materials at my disposal, I'm definitely going to use them. And you know what? At this point, I can probably retire my stone sword and actually make myself an iron sword. That would actually be pretty smart, all things considered. Obviously, this is only episode 3, so diamond, I have none of that, so not really a too huge of a deal, but there we go. Let's go ahead and I'm going to put my stone stuff away, so let's go ahead and put all this stuff in here. Let's go ahead and pull the sword. There we go. Okay, so the first thing that I need to go ahead and do, let's go ahead and move those up there and move these over like that. There we go. And I have torches in my inventory, which is gonna come out really handy. Do I have any extra torches? I don't see any in that chest. I am so disorganized, but I'm literally just starting out, obviously, so I don't really have a whole heck of a lot of materials to go ahead and get me started. But hopefully, as further episodes go on, obviously, that's all going to end up changing. So I'm gonna figure out exactly where I need to dig down in order to get to this little cave, because I did see it just a moment ago. You guys saw it just a moment ago. I gotta figure out where I need to go. Okay, so it looks like what I could do is dig a little bit of a staircase right here, and yep, that leads me down into this area. And I actually don't know like what all is in this area, but it looks like, okay, so it does lead to a dead end. Okay, so that's at least somewhat decent for me to go ahead and get started. And it's also just now starting to turn nighttime, so I should probably go to sleep to make sure nothing actually ends up spawning. Now here's the idea I have with this little cave house that I want to live in. I want to basically make it so that eventually, it's probably not going to happen this episode because I've got, well, a basic idea for this episode, but eventually what I want to go ahead and do is make it so that I can go ahead and have multiple levels in my house. So let's go ahead and turn all these into polish because I'm going to want to use these, and then, you know what, I'm not going to want them for right now. And also, I don't know how much you guys are going to care about this, but this is something that I worked on in between episodes. I went ahead and fully repaired my fishing rod, obviously using mending. I was debating on whether or not to use my current amount of levels to go ahead and repair it by combining it with a fishing rod that I already have with no enchantments. And that completely missed, and I'm out of arrow too. You are definitely going to be a huge problem if I am not careful. You're just gonna chill right there? Alright, then I guess I can shoot you just fine. And that is also a miss. This is why Infinity is so useful, because then I can go ahead and take these guys out without too much problem. Alright. Let's go ahead and head back down into our little crevice. And what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to go ahead and let's see. Okay, so that is not my staircase. Where? Oh, is it? It's right here. Okay, good. All right. So what I want to do, ooh, okay, so I did see this a little bit earlier, and I do definitely want to go ahead and grab this. But basically what I want to do is make it so that the entire floor is pretty much all level with each other. I mean, that much is fairly obvious with something like this, but I want to make this 100% even with absolutely everything. It's not going to be a perfect place to live, but hopefully by the time this project is all done, it's going to be just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be clearing out quite a bit of space. I'm going to do this off camera because I feel like you guys probably don't want to see this entire thing being done. And I will be right back. I don't even know how long this is going to end up taking. And, ooh, some more iron. I'll gladly take that. I don't even know. Okay, so there's quite a bit here. So I'm going to mine out as much of this area as I can to make this place at least somewhat livable. And I will be right back. I imagine this is probably going to take quite a bit of time, which I'm not too worried about that problem. I mean, mainly I'm trying to clear this out so I can live in here. That's kind of the whole point of it. Okay, so here's the space that I've dug up so far. And as you can tell, I've got a couple holes that, well, up here I wasn't expecting this particular hole. This one down here I was half expecting and half not expecting, and I think you guys can understand my reasoning behind saying that much. But now what I need to do is I actually need to go ahead and start putting down the floor, and I don't have enough blocks to go ahead and finish off the entire floor. I will say that much right now. I'm gonna have to work on that in between episodes most likely, which is not really a huge problem. Do I not have any spider eyes in here? No, I can't put spiders in there. Okay, so that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and put the spider eye in here then. And let's go ahead and get out our polished blocks. So I've got myself polished andesite, polished diorite, and polished granite. And yeah, as I just mentioned, I do not have enough of any of these blocks to actually finish off the floor in this episode. I will most likely have to obviously work in between episodes to go ahead and finish things off, which actually not too big of a problem, but I do obviously, as I've mentioned before, I do like the look of the actual stone variants. So things should actually come together rather nicely, all things considered. So I think what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to go ahead and work. Actually, you know what? No. What I was initially going to do was work on one at a time. Actually, I could probably still go ahead and do that, but before I do that, I'm going to need to grab myself a little bit of cobblestone. And because the reason why I initially didn't want to go ahead and do individual stripes first is because I would run into a little bit of an issue where the floor is actually missing. And yes, I do have cobblestone in here. Good. Alright. So I think if I put cobblestone down, because obviously I'm not going to be able to see the cobblestone once the floor is in place. But this should at least make it a little bit easier for me to go ahead and put down the floor itself. So let me go ahead and cover this up really quick, just like this. And obviously this cobblestone, as I just mentioned, it's not going to be seen at the end. I'm going to have to do a little bit of cleaning up in between episodes. That much is fairly obvious. But this should hopefully turn out rather well by the time it's done. So I'm just going to work on as much of the floor as I possibly can. Admittedly, I am running out of diorite as I thought I was going to. But hopefully I should have maybe enough andesite to finish this off. I definitely don't have enough granite to finish this off. I think if I go back down into the cave system, I should be able to find a few patches of each of the stuff without too big of a problem. Okay, we're ending things off right there. So let's go ahead and start off on the granite. And it looks like the granite is going to go right next to the andesite right there. And yeah, I definitely don't have enough. Actually, you know what? What I could probably do is not wait until in between episodes. I could probably do it in this episode, but I'm obviously going to do it off camera because you guys probably don't want to see me do this. And as far as the floor, or not the floor, I'm working on the floor right now. As far as the ceiling is concerned, I haven't fully decided what I want to do. I think I'm going to leave this 4 high and then fill in the ceiling so that I'm not seeing any of this dirt. That much would actually be really cool to see. But yeah, so far this place is coming together nicely. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go ahead and grab my stone and pickaxes. Obviously I have my iron pickaxe. I could use it, but I don't know how much longer it'll last. Mainly it's a little over halfway with its durability still left, but I think stone pickaxes would work just fine for this project. I'm going to go get more of these materials, and I will be right back. I don't know how long this will take, but hopefully I can at least get the proper amount that I'm going to need to finish things off. And I should probably go ahead and grab the unpolished stuff that I have so I can keep a little bit of a count so I end up even. I know that doesn't make sense to you guys, but it makes sense to me, so that's all that's really important. Alright, I know this is going to seem kind of random, but I decided to go ahead and take out this tree in particular because it's just going to get in the way of what I'm trying to do. Hello, sheep. So what I've done is I've made myself a little bit of a staircase going down into this place. So it actually looks kind of nice, and this is what I'm working with right now. Now, I haven't decided what I want to do with the walls just yet. I suppose what I could probably do is completely make this out of wood, because I've got plenty of wood to go ahead and do that. And I think what I might also do is vary it up with occasional logs, which I think would look pretty good, but that's going to take a lot of time and effort. But one thing I definitely do want to go ahead and do is actually go ahead, and this is why I wanted to take out this particular tree, because it leads directly into that staircase, or the staircase leads directly into the tree, however you want to word it. But things are coming together at least somewhat decently well. So I will go ahead and say that much. So let's go ahead and get out all these logs. And you know what? Oh, you know what? I actually have a whole heck of a lot of space to work with in that chest. Anyway, excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and make all these into planks. And I'm going to use this as the ceiling. And something I probably should go ahead and do. Yes, I do have dirt on me. Okay, good. I need to patch up this hole. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fill in the ceiling first, and then I will obviously be able to tell what spots I need to patch in. I think that's probably the most logical way to go about doing things. This is obviously going to take quite a bit of time, but hopefully by the time this is all done, this should look somewhat decently nice. And you know what? Now that I've actually got that area patched up, maybe I could probably go ahead and go up top and patch it up right now. Let's see. Where exactly am I working off of? Over here. Okay. So that's actually not a whole heck of a lot that I actually need to cover up. And admittedly, it's not going to be the prettiest thing to try to cover up, but at least I can try. I mean, I'm not the best at terraforming, admittedly. So I can at least try to make this look somewhat natural, I suppose. Yeah, I'd say that looks fairly decent. Let's go ahead and leave it at that. Okay, so we've got ourselves situated with that, and thankfully this tree is finally decaying, so I can get down here a little bit easier. And I think what I'm going to do, actually, you know what? I made these fences, because what I want to do, I want to make myself like something that will at least keep me from falling down into the ravine while I'm coming down the stairs, and probably is not going to look the absolute best of things, but hey, at least hopefully this is going to help at least somewhat. That's the whole point of it. So I'm going to place that there. And I think what I could probably go ahead and do is something like this. And I'd say that looks somewhat decent. And I can probably go ahead and put down some torches on a few of these and hopefully light it up a little bit better. So let's see. Can I aim it? There we go. Let's go ahead and place one right here as well. Not the best looking thing in melee, but it's going to hopefully at least help. And I'm just going to go ahead and do something like this. And I'm out of that at this point. Okay, you know what? I have enough materials. I can go ahead and make myself a crafting table. Let's make a few sticks. Let's go ahead and make ourselves another set of fences. There we go. Let's just go ahead and do that. And I'm going to worry about cleaning up this top section a little bit later. For right now, this will work just fine. So I've got myself a little bit of an overlook to actually be able to see into the ravine, which is going to be nice. And I think, yeah, I have some more of the diorite and andesite in my inventory. I don't have a lot of diorite, admittedly. I can easily go get more, obviously. But right now, the last thing that I want to go ahead and do is work on getting this roof in place. This ceiling, I should technically say. And I think probably what I'm going to do, I'm actually running short on time at this point. So I think what I'm probably going to go ahead and do is actually work on the walls off camera and show you guys the result next episode. It's probably what I'm going to end up doing, all things considered. And okay, so that's out of that one. All right, there we go. And you know what? One thing I could probably do. You know what? I've got an idea. Let's go ahead and take this out. Let's take this out. Let's go ahead and take this out as well and place down a plank right there. And I can go ahead Yes, I do still have the stairs in my inventory. Good, I was wondering. So if I place stairs right there, I can do the same thing. Not right there. Well, yes, right there, but not in that angle. Place it right there. There we go. I need a plank right there. And I will worry about, as I mentioned, cleaning this place up at least, hopefully in between episodes to make it look a whole lot better. And you know what? I could probably get away with doing something like that. Yeah, that should hopefully work. Let's go ahead and clean this up. There we go. So this place is coming together really nicely. So I'm really excited. Actually, I just realized I'm going to have to do a little bit of cleaning up right here. And oh, there's water right there. Okay, let me go ahead and clog that up. Where on earth is that coming from, all things considered? And it's also turning nighttime. I should probably go get some sleep. But I do want to figure out exactly where that water is coming in from. That would actually be a rather smart thing for me to figure out, because then that means I have to patch up, because I want to actually make it so you can't see any of this from the outside. Even if you were trying to look for it, you wouldn't be able to see it from the outside. Let's go ahead and get out our dirt. Where on earth was that coming in? I actually have no idea. I'm going to probably end up seeing the actual what's self-exposed. Okay, so it's right here. So I can just do that, and I'll get rid of it. There we go. So this place is admittedly looking at least somewhat decent, all things considered. Obviously nowhere near done, but at least it's looking somewhat decent. I will go ahead and say that much. Anyway, with that out of the way, I think this is actually where I'm going to go ahead and end off the video. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, make sure that like button. Remember to make sure that subscribe button for future content. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at AgentCP0 to stay updated. This has been Zeus. Thank you guys for watching, and with that, I will see you guys later.